Well, what a difference a couple of weeks makes. A few weeks ago we were sat in shorts and t-shirts, and whilst I've still got a t-shirt on, I really wish I brought my jumper because we're dodging showers. It's not as warm as it was, but I'm joined today by Caroline. Hi Caroline, good to see you.
Good morning, Paul.
Caroline, to start with, let's just hear a little bit about your early life.
I grew up in Royston in Hertfordshire, near the border of Cambridge, with my mum and dad and a younger brother and sister. Very conventional schooling. Became a wild child during my teenage years and married Stuart, and we moved away to Reading when I was about 22.
So Caroline, you say your own words there, you're a bit of a wild child. We won't ask you to go into details, but just tell us a little bit about how your life sort of changed from that to your journey into faith.
I started going to Sunday school probably when I was 5 years old. My next door neighbour was a Sunday school teacher and used to take me along. I stopped going probably when I was about 10. The Sunday school closed because the building burnt down. And yes, I was very rebellious during my teenage years. But even so, I was still aware of God in the background. There were lines you didn't cross even as a wild child, and still prayed. But it wasn't until my late 20s, by now I was married to Stuart. We got married in a Church of England church in Royston. My mother had started going to a chapel in the next village, and I'd seen the change in her life. She'd become so much more confident, and I just sort of wanted some of that, and so I went along to her chapel a few times and spoke to the minister and made the commitment one evening there. And we were living in Devon by then, and we had Emma, our first child, and we went to the Baptist church, which our neighbours had told us about, and it went from there.
So involved in church for many years, but outside of church life, I wonder what sort of things you enjoy doing in your spare time.
I've always enjoyed sport and animals. I've done quite a few athletic events, high jumping, long distance running, and ended up as a hammer thrower at the end of my career. And I enjoy walking. I love animals. Always had a cat, and I've helped a friend with her look after her sheep for about 10 years or so now.
So here we are, we're sat outside, we're distancing from each other, we're still in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis, but I wonder for you personally, how's that been?
I feel very blessed that we live in the place that we do. Had I been living in a flat in Birmingham as a single mum with 2 or 3 children, it would have been very, very different. I've really enjoyed being able to stop everything. I still worked through at Waitrose through it all, which has given me some sort of structure and sense of normality. I've also learned to be quiet and just to rethink and reevaluate. I've learned a lot of places that exist around here that I can walk, and I have done a lot of walking during this time and just being quiet. So yes, in general, I've rather enjoyed having the time and space.
So Caroline, is there a piece of scripture you'd like to just share with us today?
Psalm 46 verse 10, be still and know that I am God. During the quiet times, the black times that we've all had bad days through this. Just instead of panicking and worrying, to be able to calm your mind and your heart and just focus on God and knowing and being certain that He is God, the one and only true and living God, and that we can depend on him, that he's in control, and he's there whatever we're going through.
That's a really reassuring piece of scripture. I'm sure we all find that helpful at different stages of life. So Caroline, thank you so much for your time today. It's been great just to meet up. We're fighting the chainsaw or whatever it is in the background. We'll see how we get on, but thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.